You ever read a single line from an ancient text and wonder, how do you even begin to imagine that? How does one simple verse become a whole human drama packed with awe and fear and this incredible sense of responsibility? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
Here it is, the verse itself from Exodus. And at first glance, it's pretty straightforward, right? It's a command. Here's a list of names. Here's what you need to do. It's almost like a memo. But hiding just beneath the surface of these words is this story of incredible tension and raw human emotion.
And that's the real question, isn't it? What was it actually like to be there? To hear that voice, to look up at that terrifying mountain as the ground starts shaking under your feet. How do you even begin to translate a divine command into a real human experience?
Well, that's where our source material for this explainer comes in. It's a screenplay that takes this one verse and just explodes it into a full dramatic scene. So we're going to dig into its craft and see exactly how it uses atmosphere, character, and tension to make this ancient moment feel alive.
So, let's start at the beginning. Part 1, the summons. You see, before anyone can even react to the call, the screenplay has to build the world. It has to make us, the audience, feel the immense power that these characters are about to face.
The scene opens on this really powerful contrast. Down below, you have the human world. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's loud. You can almost smell the smoke from the fires and hear the noise of thousands of people. But then you look up, and there's Mount Sinai. It's described as a silent titan, wrapped in a dark cloud that's literally pulsing with this divine, otherworldly energy. The stage is set.
And we get a sense of character in just 2 words. Aaron comes up to Moses, basically voicing everyone's anxiety like, what's next? But Moses, his eyes are just glued to the mountain, and he says, we wait. Right there, that sets him apart. He's not focused on the camp, on the people. He is tuned into something else entirely, something bigger.
And this is the moment where we stop just seeing the mountain and we start feeling it. The script says the ground starts to shake. The cloud on the peak gets darker. The entire massive camp just falls silent. The divine isn't just arriving, its arrival is a physical event you feel in your bones.
And then, the voice. Now, the writer makes this fascinating choice. The line appears in Old Church Slavonic, Iriche Moisiou, which means, and he said to Moses. Visually, this just separates God's voice from everything else. But it's not just that. The voice doesn't come from the mountain, it comes from everywhere. It fills the air, it vibrates in the rock, it echoes inside Moses' own chest. This is the inciting incident, this all-encompassing call that changes everything.
Okay, so the call has been made. That brings us to part 2, the deliberation. Because, a divine command is one thing, but how do a bunch of mortal, terrified humans actually process it? This is where the story really digs into the people. And the screenplay gives us this whole spectrum of reactions. You've got Nadab and Abihu, Aaron's sons, who are just filled with this youthful, zealous excitement. For them, it's an honor. Then there's Elder Eliav, who's the voice of reason, of caution, and profound fear. Aaron has this serious gravity. He understands the weight of it. And then there's Moses, just quietly carrying the immense burden of it all. It's like a perfect little snapshot of how we respond to the unknown.
And this line from Elder Eliav just grounds the whole thing in this very real, very legitimate terror. Remember, everyone had been warned. If you so much as touch the base of this mountain, you will die. So being told to climb it doesn't sound like an honor. It sounds like a death sentence. How dare we is not a question of reverence. It's a question of survival.
To really get why they're so afraid, you have to understand this idea of a sacred space. This isn't just a hike. The mountain has become a place where the normal rules of the world just don't apply. It's filled with a power so pure, so immense, that it's literally lethal to anyone who's unprepared or unworthy.
And this is where Moses calms that fear. He clarifies the command. They aren't being asked to walk into the fire. They are to worship from afar. You can just imagine the wave of relief that washes over them. But in that same breath, this line also powerfully highlights Moses' unique, lonely role. Their journey has a finish line. His doesn't.
So this brings us to the final act, the ascent. Now that they understand their mission, the group starts the solemn journey up the side of the mountain.
The screenplay presents this climb almost like a ritual, broken down into steps. First, there's the purification, to prepare themselves. Then, the climb itself is done in total silence, leaving the noise and the chaos of the world behind. They reached the boundary line they were told not to cross. And finally, they performed the act they were summoned for, the worship.
And the script just immerses you in this journey through your senses. The familiar sounds of the camp fade out, and all you hear is the wind and the crunch of stones under their feet. The air itself feels different, electrified. The cloud above isn't distant anymore. It's right there, and it's writhing with fire. And the thunder? You don't just hear it, you feel it, vibrating up through the rot.
74. 74 men. That's it. Standing on the side of a mountain, at the very edge of the divine. The number really drives home just how small and fragile this little group of humans is, standing before this overwhelming cosmic power.
And then we get the climax for the group. Moses' command is so simple, so powerful. Now, bow down to the Lord. There's no big speech. The time for talking is done. All that's left is this one profound act of submission.
And they do. They all fall to their knees, fulfilling the command exactly as they were told. They are witnesses, held at a safe distance, but closer than any other living person to this incredible glory. It's just a moment of pure, absolute awe.
But just when you think the scene is over, when it's reached its natural conclusion, the story pivots. The group's job is done, but Moses's has only just begun. The focus pulls away from the 73 kneeling men.
And this leads us to the final powerful image of the scene. While the 73 men are kneeling, being witnesses, Moses alone gets back on his feet. While they stay safely behind the boundary line, he walks forward, right into the fire and the cloud. They were called to see the glory. He was called to bear the responsibility of it.
And that's really the question the whole story leaves us with. What is the difference between witnessing glory and carrying its full weight? It's one thing to be a spectator, to see something amazing from a safe distance. It's something else entirely to be the one who has to step across that line, into the storm, and carry that power for everyone else. And that, right there, is the heart of leadership, the heart of this drama, all brought to life from just a single ancient verse.